All right, welcome to Dragonfire Men's Alchemical Path podcast. We have our first guest, Jarrod Krafzcyk. We're here to go over a few things that we have spoken about in the past. I met Jarrod through a gym that I used to train at where he was the head instructor, somebody who I've come to respect and know for fighting skill and men's work, basically a dedication to men's mental health. And Jarrod, do you want to give us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I started, training in self-defense, Krav Maga in 2009. I would have met you not long after that, I think, maybe 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So a fair whack of time ago. Um, Having, my own mental health struggles and adversities, um, connected with a few like-minded people to be able to help other guys with their own stuff. Being put into the position of head instructor, I was kind of someone that I guess people came to or spoke to or confided in, and just naturally found myself wanting to be able to help, I guess. Especially when there's not many resources. Like we spoke about before, like men's groups and everyone talks about mental health month for the first 3 days of the month, and then they forget about it. And they do their virtual signaling Instagram posts to get their likes, and then they fucking forget about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing ongoing or easy to find groups, or even things that are easily affordable. That could be a big barrier in guys reaching out. Therapy is expensive, whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it works, it's expensive. Men's health groups are expensive. So I've always sort of been there to try to help other guys for free. I don't want money. I just want to be able to help people. And, I've had people be there for me on and off, trying to help and just kind of pay it forward, I guess. And people like yourself and what you used to do with men's business, and just being there for men, especially in our age group, man. Like it's rough.
Yeah, we don't make friends as easily. And then you've also got the baggage that comes along with betrayals and, all the shit.
You're not going out. We're not going out like we were when we were in our 20s. You're not out with your mates every Friday, Saturday night. You're not out partying anymore. Hopefully, in your 40s. You're not making those connections or keeping in touch with guys, even if it is on a shallow party level. You want to watch bands or whatever it is you're doing. In your 40s, it's different. You've got different commitments. You've got different priorities. And unfortunately, seeing your mates or even maintaining those friendships does take a bit of a backseat.
Yeah, it certainly does. So one of the things that you just brought up was the availability of men's groups and things like that, which, I started men's business pre-COVID. So I moved out of Sydney up here, and it literally took me 2 years to settle. I was going through my own shit at that time, went through a bit of a dark patch. And again, that's something that, I'm committing to, which is starting a men's group that is accessible for men on all levels. And moving forward, I guess this is what I'm doing now, which is to start this podcast to get that out there, and then start something where men can actually come along, talk to each other, see what they're, these things that they go through, whether everyone thinks they're alone, but it's actually a very common problem that a lot of men have. And until they talk to the other
even not talking about it. So something I found is just doing stuff with a mate, like just training. Go have a coffee. You don't talk about what's going on, but just go have a coffee. Go walk your dog. Just hang out with a mate, and you both kind of know why you're doing it. You don't even need to talk about, hey, I've got this going on. It's just like, I just want to be around one of my mates and hang out, go out for dinner, just have that connection. Because maybe at first, like, talking about it and opening up is hard. And if there's no pressure of that, it's like, hey man, we're just going to go do jiu-jitsu. We're just going to go roll. Let's hold pads for each other and do some boxing. Let's lift weights together in the same room. Like, we don't have to talk about shit, but we're both getting something out of it. And so this is something I'm putting more effort into, because I have a tendency to isolate myself, and then I guess get down about being isolated. This cycle I've had my whole life. So now I'm making more effort. Like, hey, let's just grab a coffee. Let's just walk the dog. Like, It's just being around just a mate, which I think, in your 40s is something that's really lost.
I can
Someone
definitely.
you're not necessarily seeing at work, because you're in a real different environment at work. It doesn't matter where you work, you're doing a job, whether you have a character, like a different mask on, you pretend everything's okay and you get through and you do your job and you've got some bros there or whatever, but you see those same guys outside of the work environment and it's a totally different thing. So I think not just relying on you've got work, home, work, home, work, home, slot some other stuff in there.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. What you were just saying about even just hanging out with someone, not necessarily talking, not even raising topics of shit you're going through. But yeah, there is something about that camaraderie or
100% camaraderie. That's the word for it, man. And you both know you've got shit going on.
yeah. And I think that is often something that if you're doing and then you do have something you need to talk about, it kind of flows naturally when you just
100%.
you,
Especially, yeah, you're just going for a walk and oh, I just wanted to talk to you about this, or just get something off my chest, or what do you think? What do you think about this? As it's less pressure of like, hey, I really need someone to talk to. I'm not doing well, and then there's this pressure on both sides. There's pressure on you to open up, and there's pressure on them to sit and listen, and they may not be in the best mind frame or space to actually hear it. But if you're just hanging out and it flows naturally out of conversation, then it's an easy way there.
yeah.
Try to bridge that gap of like the
To
hardest thing with anything is getting started. You
bridge
know,
that's what it is because it is something that I myself also very much what you just said about I don't really reach out to people. I'm very introverted and don't I don't know, don't feel the need to reach out, yet at the same time it is isolating and there are times where yeah, and I was actually
it's
talking
this weird catch-22. Like you don't want to be a burden.
yeah, and that
Myself, okay, speaking about myself, like I don't want to like, oh, I'm not going to go bother him because man, I've got so much shit, and I know he's got shit on himself, and he's got this and that, and you know what's going on in each other's lives, and like I don't want to, I don't want to bring someone down, or I'm just going to deal with it myself. And as we all know, dealing with it yourself means going into a dark hole. Like we've all been there. It's like I'm just going to sit and wallow in this bullshit. I'm just going to go to the gym and train it out. And that works for the first couple of hours. You get your endorphins and stuff, and then it doesn't solve anything.
yeah.
And there's something that, you can talk to your partner, you can talk to your
Yeah.
wife, this is bothering me, but it's a totally different sort of thing when you're talking to one of the guys.
Yeah. And
They
that was
can't,
something
you can't
that
replace each other. That's why, male and female, like we have these different roles
oh
in each other's lives.
you can't have your woman show up the way another brother can.
No, it's a totally different, and vice versa. Like they're not going to be there the way that your wife will be. And you're not going to be there the way that her girlfriends will be. Like we have our roles, and you need them all.
Well, that was looking back, and one thing that I was talking to my wife about recently was that exactly that. It was men need men. That's why I coined the term men's business. Well, I didn't coin it. It's comes from an indigenous sort of belief of men have their business, that women have their business, and that is it. It's the energy of men. There are often things that I find when I'm sitting, just hanging out with a man or talking or whatever, and you don't need, as you just said, you don't need to say anything. It's like
Yeah.
it's understood. There's just that vibe of, okay, I get this guy. He's going through something. I'm just going to hang out with him. Let's do something. I don't know. Train, go for a walk. I don't know, go fishing, whatever the fuck it is.
Whatever it is, whatever your thing is, and we've done it for centuries and centuries and centuries. Like it's it's just what we do, and I think we've lost it. That's it's a shame, but it's the way evolution's gone. It's the way people have, the way everyone's work is, the way the home life is. We don't have the village sort of
Well, cities isolate people.
environment anymore. 100%. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the oxymoron of a city is, they're full of people, yet people are so isolated.
yeah. Social media isolates people. The phones isolate people. Like we've lost it all. So it's good that there's people like yourself, a few guys that I know that want to change that, and we're just happy to hang out.
Yeah. Well, let's bring up one of the questions, and that is what were the masculine role models you had, and what did you learn from them growing up, and how did that shape you as a man?
None. I had none. Yeah, no, I've done that myself. The role models I had, when you think late teens, I mean, okay, I'm an only child. So I didn't have an older brother or that sort of thing. I had friends that had older brothers, and so they were the role models when you're thinking like 15, 16, 17, 18. So those older guys and the role models that they were different girlfriend every week, driving the cool car, popular guy, like the guy that's just partying, playing in the bands. Like that was my role model. So I'm like, that's what I saw as cool. So that which led me down the wrong path. But I didn't know any different. I didn't have anyone else. I had, covered in tattoos and played in bands. So like that's where I had. As far as like the masculine man or good, wholesome sort of role model, like I didn't have. My dad worked, my dad hard worker, but not that sort of emotional teachings, I guess. I don't know if that's just the Eastern European way.
I was going to say that's probably a very Polish thing because I had the same, never heard I love you, not really any hugs or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine. It is, I mean, that is what it is. I don't know any different. I still shake my dad's hand. That's, that's how we say hi.
Yeah.
We're not a hugging sort of thing.
No.
We shake hands. So yeah, I guess I just had to find my own way.
And how did you do that?
What choice do you have?
But what
Go to work. You
did
do.
you?
You learn from mistakes. You fuck up. You fucked up. You have introverted, I guess, self-reflection of that was wrong, this was right.
Yeah.
Learn from doing wrong. Biggest thing, like I stopped. So when I'm 45 and a bit now, I stopped drinking when I was 23.
Yeah. You completely stopped drinking, didn't you?
Completely stopped drinking. Yeah. So what I'm coming up on 23 years. That was probably the biggest thing for me that shaped who I am. I realized I don't want to say like wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't a drug addict. So I do have an addictive personality, and I realized it was a problem. I realized early on that I could end up an alcoholic. Like see how my grandfather was like, the behaviors and acting similar, getting into fights, driving drunk, causing trouble. It's what you do when you're 18 to 23. Okay, like you're a drunken dickhead. We've all done it, and
Back
we all
then,
know them.
it was
But
more.
especially back then, man,
Yeah.
early 2000s. So that was 2002 that I stopped.
Yep.
And I just realized that's not for me. And it's easier for me to do nothing than have one or two. I
Yeah.
can't just have a couple of drink. What's the point? Why would you just have a beer? Like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah. I had a mate when I was growing up, we used to get smashed, get into fights, all of that. And then he would always say, if I drink to get drunk. And then you get
Yeah,
drunk, you do stupid shit.
yeah. Like I don't know, have a lemonade if you just want to drink. Like, if you want to get drunk, get drunk. So that was where I was, like getting high every day, smoking a pack of cigarettes every day, and getting drunk every night. So that was what a lot of people did at that age group. But yeah, I just realized pretty early on that's not for me. And that opens your eyes real quick, opens your eyes to who's an actual friend and who's a party acquaintance. Yeah, who's actually there for you, and you know, who's just wanting to hang out. But then you don't drink, you become the designated driver everywhere. So then you see who's
Then,
using you.
then you get used for lifts.
100%. So, the way nothing good happens after, midnight. You go out, you watch bands. I still went out, I still was quite sociable all through my 20s. But, midnight, pull the plug, I'm going home. You want to lift? Come with me. I'm going now. I'm not waiting around.
Yeah.
So I guess putting boundaries in place, make sure my friends get home safe. But this is when I'm leaving now. I'm not hanging out till 3, 4, waiting for drunk cunts. Just learning early to put some boundaries in.
Yeah.
And in the process of that, you lose friends. It is
Well,
isolating, but then you gain other friends. Like you really friends, but you realize who's there and who's not.
were they friends to begin with? If you lose
Yeah,
them,
well,
that's
100%.
the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and that's a lesson that I've learned nonstop. Through different paths I've taken the last 20 something years. Friends come and go.
Isn't that a fact?
Yeah, and that's part of the experience. Like you'll have some friends. I've got some friends that I've had for I don't know 20 something years. And then ones that well and truly gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have those ones that you think they're going to be lifelong friends, and then something happens and that
Yeah,
isn't the case.
yeah, exactly.
And again, I think that's part of, for me personally, was part of not needing people, just learning to be okay alone. Yet I can see as things are going on and as the direction that society is heading, we need tribe sort of thing. We
Yeah,
need,
exactly. So you're like, oh, I'm okay with being alone, and the next thing you know, it's been 2 years of you. You're like, oh, I'm not okay with being alone.
uh, and then
Yeah,
going back to that thing where you just hang out
and
with.
then 100%, and then you just go in this cycle, and you're like, oh, I want to reach out to my friends again, and then, oh, I haven't seen you in 2 years. What have you been doing? So yeah, it's making a conscious effort to not fall back into that routine.
So let's go on with another question. What is a code or ethos you live by now that would have shocked your younger self? So we kind of touched on that, but
Yeah, well, the not drinking thing was probably the biggest thing. I do that for myself. I've taken an oath to myself to not drink, do drugs, and I don't enforce that on anyone. That's just me. I don't. I'm a little bit outspoken on it, I guess, because I'm proud of it.
yep,
But at the same time, I'm not militant about it. As I don't really care what other people do. I choose to not be around it.
yep,
People that are drunk and on drugs, I'm not going to be around you. You can do
yep,
what you want. That's totally fine. I'm going home. Um, I've made a choice to not put myself in those situations.
yep,
So that's not a personal thing towards anyone. That's just, I just choose not to,
yeah,
and being honest with myself about that.
yeah. I remember at one stage I didn't drink for a year and a half, 2 years. And after the army, I went to do bouncing in one of the cities and seeing how people act, just being sober and having to watch and keep an eye out and just seeing how degraded people can make themselves by drinking,
Yeah.
excessive
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
People
How
can drink.
loud they get, how much shit people talk, how they behave, how they treat other people. It's, everyone's got their own path. They're going to learn their own lessons and everything. But, I just choose to not be around it. Um, so that's been my biggest character development, I guess, and just sticking to that. Like, it's how easy would it be? You go out for dinner. I'm just going to have a glass of wine. It's like, no, just no need.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, I can have a glass now. Like I won't get smashed. I enjoy one glass, and then I notice if I have two, then I'm kind of like, all right, I'm at that point where no, I don't need any more. I don't want any
Yeah,
more. And it's,
but I've made a promise to myself, when I was young, and whether I go in and out of believing in that or not, I'll stick to it. I made that promise to myself. I'm not going to have a drink again. I'm not going to
yeah.
smoke. Not going to do drugs. Cool, done.
Well, that's the oath you make to yourself, and
Yeah,
sticking by that.
100%.
That's your ethos. That's who makes you who you are.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's what every hard time that I've been through since the age of 23, I've done sober. So I haven't used alcohol as a coping mechanism, drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism, as a crutch,
Yeah.
as to take the edge off. It's like I just fucking deal with it,
Yep. I
and
found
that's hard. I've
training.
training 100%. Like throw yourself into the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Was there a defining moment that made you give up alcohol and drugs?
There was a few, like probably the last. Well, I was having a kid for a start.
Yeah.
So my son's now 22. So it was just a few months before he was born that I completely made the choice.
Yeah.
So giving up quitting smoking was the biggest. So I'm having a kid, I've got to quit smoking. That was I don't want to smoke around a child. Everything else was like, I'm just not a good, didn't feel like I was a good person. I wanted to just straighten up. And then realizing the last few months, like, I'd drive home, realize my car's parked in the driveway in the morning. I don't remember doing that. There's a few moments like that. It's like that really stuck out. Like, I do remember driving home on the wrong side of the road one night. Got home, but like, I completely on the wrong side of the road. And so I was like, yeah, it's not great.
It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah. So there's a few moments like that that stuck out in my mind. I'm like, let's just stop.
Yeah.
And I had one mate who was, I think he had already stopped drinking by that point. So I'm like, okay, well, I got one friend who's like almost a support. So we're
Yep.
doing that together.
You got each other.
Yeah. While still going out, while still playing in bands, while still, still doing what you do at that age, but just being able to do it sober.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something that today men and in particular young men need to hear that no one seems to be saying?
I was thinking about this one last night. Like, there's the cliche, this too shall pass. It will, if you have depression and anxiety, like if that's something that's a part of your life, you're probably always going to have it, varying degrees. I'd like to say, oh, it gets better, but there's varying degrees of better. So what you're dealing with now will pass, it will get better, and then you're going to have something else. And then you're going to have to deal with that. And then it's not all roses. It's not like, oh, this will, silver lining, it'll get better one day and then you won't deal with it. No, you're just varying degrees of shit.
There's always
There's always something. That's exactly, there is always something. You'll deal with it. It won't last forever, no matter what it is. That particular thing won't last. There'll be something else, but learning to deal with one thing gives you tools in dealing with something else. How you do, biggest bit of advice I would give myself, or even hey, my 22-year-old son, how you do anything is how you'll do everything. So if you deal with it, you'll deal with it. If you crumble every single time, you will crumble every single time.
yeah, it's definitely building that resilience under
Yeah.
pressure.
And I don't like, I am quite an optimist in life in general. And I know this sounds pessimistic, like, it's always going to suck. Well, yeah, but you will always get through it. No matter what that suck is, just push through, you'll get through it. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, realize life it's just ups and downs.
Yeah,
Enjoy the ups, deal with the downs.
yeah. For me personally, it was obviously a ton of shit, which I want to sort of ask you as well how, if you will, say generational trauma and things like that. Obviously, we're from Polish backgrounds, and Poland had quite a hard time during the war. Our grandfathers or fathers might have been through shit that is in science now being proven that stress and high cortisol levels is something that's passed down, depression, anxiety, etc. All of these things are factors that if our grandfathers or ancestors went through hard shit, this is all passed on to us. So how we deal with it, the resilience we build within ourselves, because I remember as a kid, I was angry as fuck, and that was how I dealt with things. Anger was my tool. It was how I got out of situations, and it worked for me. But getting older, getting into trouble, getting arrested because of anger, then that doesn't work. So then all of these tools, if you will, that I have adopted initially for myself, which now I want to help other men with, are the key to that exact situation where shit is always going to happen. And it's a matter of building up your toolkit, if you will, for, okay, I feel anxious today. Why do I feel anxious? You've really got to look at it, pull it apart, and then get yourself out of it. And these are,
I found I'm getting better as I get older of recognizing these things early
mm,
before they hit too much, especially with anxiety, not waiting till it's just completely consumed me. Like if I
yeah,
notice it, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a bit off. I can
something's
talk about it with my wife. Something's happening. Hey, I'm not all right. And whether it's nothing, whether it's just me just spinning out a bit,
yeah,
it's not an actual subject. I recognize the feelings early on.
yeah,
And with the depressive episodes, I'm really realizing more and more, it's probably going to last a day. It starts hitting, and I'm like, just let it. I'm gonna wallow in shit on the couch for a day.
yeah,
Just let it pass, man. Like,
yeah,
don't always force it. Sometimes I'm gonna go train, or I'm gonna walk, or I'm gonna do something to change my state. Sometimes I'll just let it happen. But I'm realizing it real early on, not when I'm in the midst of it.
yep,
As for the generational stuff, yeah, I mean generational trauma and how you're raised to deal with that as
mm,
well. So there's nature and nurture.
yep,
Does your family or upbringing teach you to be able to deal with you know these things? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. In my case, no. And you figure it out yourself. And then because like our grandparents, went through the war, our parents would have emigrated from a different country. They've been through some shit, and then you can compare that. It's like, well, man, my grandfather went through the war. The fuck am I whinging about?
yeah.
It does give you perspective, and I don't want to be like, I'm hungry, yeah, but there's starving kids in Africa. Like, how much do you compare yourself to what other people are going through or have gone through, but it does give you perspective of how resilient you can be and how much you can let little stuff consume you. Someone mixes up, like these days, someone mixes up your fucking pronouns and you cry about it and you get them cancelled. Like
Hello.
that's a whole new level of it. But like if you're going through some stuff and you're like in a pit where you actually want to kill yourself, yeah, you're not going to be actively, yeah, but my grandfather went through the war.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can take a step back and go, it's not that bad. Let's just analyze what's happening a little bit. It's not all going to be, not waiting for a rainbow to come out,
No.
but just realize, hey, we're all right. Like a roof over our head, we've got food.
Yep.
What is actually bothering me? Am I just surrounded by assholes? Did I just have a shit day at work with some shit people and that's what's affected me?
Yep.
I think a lot of depression and anxiety comes from your environment.
Absolutely.
The people you're like around, and work. That's everyone's at work more than they're around their family.
Well, that's the other adage, that you become like the 5 most people that you hang around with.
100%, 100%. So choose them wisely.
Yeah.
Especially outside of work. Work you might not be able to choose who you work with.
Yeah.
But outside of work, choose people that are inspiring to you. Choose people that are positive or make you feel good about yourself when you're around them. And understand that other people might be choosing you for those exact things.
That's where boundaries comes into it again as well, because if you're trying to lift people up all the time, but people are dragging you down, you've got to realize and
yeah.
about.
But you can be doing it for each other. Like you've hung out with a mate. I hung out with a good friend, a couple of good friends, really recently, and just for dinner, or just for a walk and a coffee, and you both come out of it just uplifted and energized, and like we just, and these are guys I've known for 10, one of them for 20 years. Um, Lost connections, and we've both reached out recently and reconnected, and it's like that's why we were mates in the first place. And life happens, you go through divorces and people have kids, and then it's just like come out the other side of it and go, look, I really miss like that person. Reach out, send them a message, hey, I've been thinking about you, and the next thing you know, you're having dinner with an old friend and you just feel good about yourself and they feel good, and it's no one's draining. If you feel drained after hanging out with a mate, maybe they need you. And look at it like maybe they're going through some shit and they really needed you. But at what point do you put yourself first? If you're drained from hanging out with someone, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I've found, because I used to have that a lot, especially doing men's work, and people would reach out to me, and then I don't mind. I find that's part of what I've chosen to do with part of my life, is to help people. So I don't mind that, but then when I find it does drag you down too much, then yeah, you've got to.
I found that with the gym. I was in such a higher position as the head instructor. I was there for everyone. I was making sure everyone was okay. I was putting everyone before myself for, man, 15 years.
It's easy to do.
It's easy to do, and it feels good. I like helping people, but at the same time, I'm helping everyone and neglecting myself. And the next thing you know, you're at the bottom. Everyone wants something. Everyone wants to, not that everyone wants to take in an intent kind of way, but they do. Everyone wants a piece of you. Everyone wants your opinion, or everyone wants to train with you or talk to you. They train with you and they want to talk about their problems because that's their escape from their life, is going to that gym.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, cool, I can relax and I can talk about my shit and get all my anger out. And well, I'm the one taking all the anger on.
And you do that as someone in that role. That tends to be what happens if you haven't crafted the right boundaries again.
Yeah, which I didn't.
Yeah.
100% didn't craft any of the boundaries.
Yeah, I went through that as well. It was just something that, through pain and shitty situations that you have brought on by that, then yeah, you realize, and you've got to. draw the line at one point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Those pain and shitty situations don't last. You deal with it, you move on, and now they're memories, and there's something you've learned from.
And lessons. And then you
And lessons, yeah,
implement
100%.
in the future. Sure, I'll help you out at this time for that long.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
All the time I can give you, I'm happy to help you, but these are my terms, on my terms.
Yeah. And then go and take some time for yourself after it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I do see that is the thing. Being introverted, I quite like the solitude, and I do often go out. Even I say to my wife, "I need some time alone now. I'm going to go to the bush or go to the river,
Yeah.
whatever it is." And yeah, you realize what you need.
Yeah. And that's your recharge. And then you're better for it. You come back and you're a better person for it.
Mm. Yeah, especially in a relationship, I've found that is
Yeah.
something critical, especially for my nervous system, because I have quite a sensitive nervous system. I feel other people's emotions and energies, and often many years ago took it on as my own. So I had to, again, create different boundaries, realize what's happening, and adjust my nervous system accordingly.
It's good, man. It's good. It's good to recognize that, to be able to do it.
It is. And I think it's critical, especially people that are in certain roles and having so many people count on you, which is, again, I'm recently married. We're going to have kids soon. And I think that's something that I'm going to have to, which I want to model to my children, because, again, I didn't have positive role models growing up at all. I had abusive, fucking narcissistic masculine figures, which I worked my own way around. And that's something I've sort of committed to, is that stops here. It's not getting passed on to my kids.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so tell me about your relationship with anger. Did you ever suffer from it?
That's still going. That's an ongoing one. I've recognized it. I Yeah, this was a tricky one. I was talking to my wife about it a little bit last night, after you sent the questions through, and I have a lot of anger issues. Working in that gym was good because I could train whenever I wanted. I could go hit the bag. There's a lot of sparring. I've been playing in bands since '94, and that was my outlet, was music, heavy music, like singing and playing in that. Now that I don't do that, I lack an outlet for anger other than going to the gym.
Yeah.
So this is something that's real new to me, is controlling it, confronting it, not outbursting at other people, but then also not letting that eat me alive on the inside. So yeah, I don't have an answer for that yet. This is a process for me, and that's probably the biggest source of my mental health struggles at the moment, is dealing with anger towards myself, because I'm not getting it out. I'll go from 0 to 100. So I'm calm, calm, I'm calm, I'm calm. Fuck the world. There's not really like a gradual. I just squash it and squash it, and then someone will cop it. And just be an outburst, and then I'll hate myself for it. Then I'll go down the spiral. So this is my journey, if you will, right now. I really don't have an answer for this.
Are there any triggers in your nervous system that you pick up on?
Yeah, when I'm run down. To be fair, when I'm run down and tired, frustrated, and instead of voicing it and going, "Hey, this is what's happening right now," I'll be fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll be fine. And then the next thing you know, yeah, no, I'm not okay. But it is when I'm run down. It is when I haven't rested enough. I haven't eaten properly. I haven't trained. I go 3 or 4 days without training. I train for a mental health reason more than, the getting jacked reason. Even if it's just a half an hour, it's
Something.
part of my routine.
Yeah.
But if I miss it for too many days in a row, it gets pent up and turns into anger, and someone in traffic is going to cop it, or heaven forbid, it's at home and I just snap because I'm irritated and angry. Um, so I'm getting better. It is happening a lot less. I feel in a previous relationship, I wasn't allowed to express myself.
Yeah.
This is something I've worked through with therapy. I was very not in a comfortable space to be able to express emotions, anger. and whatnot. So when I left that and I'm in a relationship where I am allowed to, it's like opening floodgates.
Yeah.
So here's 10 years of pent up bullshit. And unfortunately, my wife now will get those, emotional outbursts, which we've discussed, and she realizes it. And I'm working through it, but I'm getting better at recognizing these things early on,
Yeah.
and voicing it. Just go, hey, I'm not all right.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of space or whatever it is, because I never learnt to, deal with these things.
Yeah. And
So,
I think that was it, especially being in a relationship, as I was once upon a time also, where it's repressed, you can't let it out, you don't know what you're actually feeling until it's too late. And now, again, being in a healthy relationship where she doesn't mind to hear what's going on with you, where she wants to hear what's going on with you,
it's
and you
weird.
say, my love, I'm feeling something now. I just need to be alone for, and then I go sit, process. Oh, fuck, it was just this little thing that triggered something because, yes, I was tired, didn't sleep properly, I'm worn down, I've got a sore back, and I'm stressed because of this. And it's the same thing. I'm exact same situation. It's all this pressure or tiredness or hunger that just hits you all at once, and then bang,
Yeah.
it's just
I don't think it's discussed enough.
All right. Yeah, sorry. Got to jump over new headphones. It's getting cold out here. Something just to pick up, something that I don't think is discussed is like healthy relationships are discussed, but I feel it's really from a female's perspective, not what's a healthy relationship for men. And like as we discussed, like we've had relationships where we weren't in a position or comfortable to be able to, to talk or express yourself. Or I feel for men, it's providing a healthy and safe place for the woman, not
absolutely.
both of you doing that for each other. And I feel for the first time where I am now is, like every relationship is going to have its issues and problems and whatnot, but we do talk through that, and we're both in a position to allow a space for us to both do that. So I feel like for the first time I am in a healthy relationship where I can express myself and be forgiven for
Yeah,
mistakes or being
for
human.
being human.
100% being human. That's something that my wife and I have talked about a lot, is what each of us need, not just what one party needs.
No, that's my wife and I, we went through this polarity course. So basically, it's a very old school way of looking at the dynamic in marriage, which is the man leads and the man earns all the money and da da da. Which obviously today it's a very different situation, but we definitely have taken our own version of that. And this course, it was kind of like, no, the man shouldn't show any emotion and he shouldn't tell his wife what's going on, which I don't think works 100% because we are human. Men do have emotions and feelings, and we, for the sake of having a deep emotional and what's the word I'm looking for? Understood relationship with our wives, they need to know what we're
100%.
going through. They need to know what we're dealing with so they can think, okay, that's got nothing to do with me. He's just going
But
through his
also
own
then they
shit.
can approach it in their own way to be there for you. Because if my wife doesn't know what's going on, or why I'm shitty from my day at work, or how the hell can she help me? And that goes both ways. It's like if she doesn't talk to me about what's bothering her, how can I help? And not that and something that I guess myself and every guy needs to work on is, we're not going to fix it. They just want to
No,
just to
just to
listen. And
listen.
man, like this is an ongoing thing, because instinctually my wife will bring a problem, something that's bothering her. I'm like, okay, well, I can fix this. So I can make that problem go away, because that's what men do. Let me protect you from what's bothering you. And no matter how
Yeah,
many times she says it,
correct.
like, I just want to be able to sort of talk about it. I still have this urge. So it's start trying to fix it and then just stop and just let them talk. And then I find myself in the same position because sometimes I come home from work and I just want to talk about it. Don't, this guy's being a cunt. Fuck this, blah, blah, blah. Don't offer me a solution or try to see it from a different perspective. Just let me call this person a cunt. Just let me get this off my chest and make me feel, even if I'm in the wrong, just let me feel right.
And that is part of the process as well. It's just that when you feel like shit, the deeper you go into it and you just sit in it and feel it, the easier it
Just brush the surface
dissipates.
off. Yeah, just let me talk about it and realize it's not a big deal, and then we can go about our night. So we try to do that every day.
Yeah.
Like I come home, how was your day? How was your day? First thing, like let's just talk about it, and then if it's all just surface stuff, then it's done. If it is deeper stuff that we need to dig into, then we do it. But it's just a good, if I have like, something big happen at work, just let me get it out of my head just to talk about it, and then it's done. Then I'm not sitting in bed like, what if, what if, what if, what if?
No, because that's
And
what
that's
can
what can
fuck
fuck.
you up.
So it's being there for each other to do that, and that's what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah, and those situations are where the spirals can
Yep.
start. Do you, with your wife, also have, let's say you've had a shitty day or you're tired or something and she comes to you with a problem, are you able to say to her, I can't hold you right now? Can I have half an
Yep.
hour or an
I
hour?
for the most part, will come home, get changed, go to the gym. I've got a gym at home, so I'm not going out again. So I'll go, give me 45 minutes. Um, and she understands that that's, more mental for me. Um, and I'm a better person coming back from that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, come home and I don't feel like it, or I manage to train during the day or something. But I can comfortably say, like, I need a little bit of time to decompress or whatever. I do want to hear about it. But a lot of the times I will, you can tell if if someone it really bothers them and they need to talk about it now. Like if putting that off for an hour is going to be worse for them than what it is better for me. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. That's fine.
Yeah, levels of severity are
Yeah.
definite.
And that's becoming,
to that.
I guess emotionally aware with each other. Like, hey, can it wait? Can it wait half an hour? Like, I'm just going to pop to the gym. Let's talk when I get back.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can, if you see shit about to burst into tears, it's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah. I'm
fuck
not
that.
going to go, hey,
Yeah, what
back
is?
in a minute. Just park that for a second. No, you read each other, and that's something that we've learnt to do. I guess the hard way, because our relationship started quite tumultuous. We were both in a really bad place, so we started off at the bottom, and we've built ourselves up to a pretty good place.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think those types of relationships are the ones that go the
Well,
distance
yeah,
because
we've seen each other
you've
at our
worked
worst.
together.
Yeah, and we helped each other, climb up out of that. And it's weird. It's different. Everything about it is this relationship is different to everything ever. Which is, that's what's special about it.
Yeah, and why you work towards keeping it and
Yeah,
maintaining it,
exactly.
and
Nothing is going to be harder than all the stuff we've already been through. And like I said at the beginning, like there's always going to be stuff you get through. You deal with it and you move on. There'll be something else eventually, and it's not the end of it. It's how you deal with it, and it's how you deal with that as a team. Um, it's not me
yeah,
versus her.
it is because
It's
that.
us versus everything else.
No, just
Yeah,
about to
and
say
that's
that
I think
exactly.
a lot of relationships, and it's something I wish I knew a long time ago. But also, everything that I've been through has led me to where I am now. So if I had this knowledge and this, I guess, emotional awareness, everything, then I'll probably still be with the person that I was with when I was 25. Like you wouldn't be where you are now. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't be married to my wife. So every bit of learning, every bit of shit that I've been through has led me to where I am. So there's no point regretting it and going, oh, fuck, I wish I knew this now. You learn from all your mistakes and you get to a better place for it.
I love it. I'd look back at my life and just be like, I'm so glad all that shit happened. Those fucking dark times, even all the, messy times, the fucking heartaches, the problems, the whatever it was. It just makes you more equipped to deal with, I won't say anything because there's always surprises in life, but again, that toolbox where you really just be
100%.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
What does this
I
require? Yeah.
recognize.
One of the
Yeah,
biggest
exactly.
things that I trouble dealing with is friends that you've lost along the way. Because they'll be like your best friend for years and they're no longer there anymore. But at the same time, that makes room for new friends, new experiences. That's just something that I have trouble dealing with because, oh, fuck, I miss that bloke. But we grew apart and maybe I'm too stubborn to come back and to reach out. But at the same time, as long as I'm keeping some blokes around or reaching out to older ones, or I don't know, that's something I'm still figuring out. Yeah. And that comes down to, I isolate myself and I lose friends, and then I start to un-isolate myself and I make new friends. And I need to break that cycle. And I've actually opened up about that to a couple of mates, and it's like, that's just something I do and I don't like it. So call me out on it. If you haven't heard from me for a while, like just, call me out on my shit, man. Like I'm happy to hear it.
And I think that's something that
Yeah,
real friends
100%.
do.
It doesn't happen.
It,
It's few and far between. But yeah, call you, not in a mean way. Don't be a cunt about it, but just like, hey, I've noticed you've been off. I noticed you've been absent. Um, I noticed you've been self-destructive, or like, are you all right? Like what's going on? And we'll always give the classic, yeah, I'm fine answer. I'm fine. I'm just tired. That's the script. But as long as like I could have a mate reach out, ask me what's going on. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm fine, all good. But I know, like, I'm real grateful that they reached out. Like it does go a long way,
yeah,
and that's stuff that keeps
yeah,
you on the path. That stuff that you know, keeps you here day to day. Having, I'm probably like you, having had friends lose their life in some capacity or another,
yeah,
gives you an appreciation for it, perspective on how it affects other people. Actually, the other day, on the 18th of this month, was the anniversary of one of my friends that took his life back in
yeah.
2009. Probably my best friend at the time, and that still fucks me up. And so if I let that consume me, like if I got so bad that I took my own life, um, how would that affect other people?
Others.
Like he obviously was in such a state that was the only option on that night. Um, but what does that do to your parents, to your partner, to friends that, okay, fuck, man, I've known you for 10, 12 years, you know, and the conversations that we've had and how much we've hung out. And if you heard, oh yeah, Jarrod killed himself the other day, like that's never going to leave you. And you're one of how many people that, I have interactions with over the last however many years. Like, why didn't he reach out? Like even the thought of losing someone that you've known for so long, it's like, man, that would fucking mess me up. And so I put myself in that position when I get like, when I've had those moments, especially over the last couple of years, with all the shit that's gone on that you know about. Um, you get to those points where you're like, there's no other option. This is the best option for everyone. That I just do that, and then something in your head goes, yeah, but your mum, your dad, your partner, my dog, like everyone that I know, like it gives you chills, man. And that's one of those things that has kept me going. As you get to that point and you stop and you realize you're like, hey, I do have, yeah. If you can count people on 5 people, if you can count on one hand people that would be affected by it, keep going. Yeah.
You're lucky.
And I could, once you start counting, you realize it's way more than on one hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also been in those situations, as we've previously spoken about. And it is a dark place, because for me personally, it seems like this is the only way to get out of what I'm feeling now. It's going to be the best way, as
Permanent
you said.
solution to a temporary problem.
It's done. Yeah, I don't need to worry about it anymore. The people will be better off without me. You fucking come up with all these excuses, and it seems like the only way to fix what's happening. But
And then you
yeah, it's not,
realize,
as you said.
so I've been in that situation multiple times, over however many years, let's just say my life. But they've all passed, every single one of them. And whether that was calling Lifeline, whether that was getting checked into the mental hospital at Roselle, whether that was getting put on medication, whether that was going to therapy, or whether that was just talking it out with my partner, no matter what, the past, every single one of them, I've got through it. So if it happens again, I'll get through it. Like, it's not over. I just know that, okay, I've gotten through those before. Every time it happens, which is fewer and fewer, every time it happens, it'll pass. I'll get through it. It'll be all right. And because I've been through it, I know it will be all right.
Yeah, I think that is it. That's the part of it. As long as you've made it through. Because I literally once had a loaded 9mm to my head, and I don't know if I wouldn't call it cowardice, but then I was looking for, like, okay, just that thought went through my mind. What impact is this going to have on the person I thought at that time was my sister? And I'm just like, oh, hang on. I think she'd be really fucked up. And that was enough to just be like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? This is not what you should be
I say,
doing.
like, my son, I said, is 22. So what? He's going to finish his life without a dad? Like, that's going to fuck him up. Break. I'm an only child, so my parents lose their only child.
Yep.
My wife, like, the amount of stuff that she's been through in her life, and then she loses a husband. Like, I'm not putting people through that. And I think a lot of guys do stick around for other people. They don't do it for themselves. They stick around because of the impact it's going to have on other people. And if that's what leads you to being able to heal, then great. Find a reason. If that is you're doing it for other people, not for yourself, great. As long as it works, and then you start to realize that you do it for yourself. Like, put the work in. That's the point. Find the reason. Okay, cool. And then put the work in and do it for yourself. So find a way to, as cheesy as it is, like, to love yourself, or to appreciate yourself, or to respect yourself. At least shit's cliche
like,
for a reason because it's been said 1,000 times. But, like, be someone that you would want to hang out with. Respect yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which again, it's all a journey. You go through ups and downs with it, but you need to put work in. With anything, I love the saying, nobody cares, work harder. And that's a very gym saying. It's a very, like, yeah, nobody cares, lift more weights, cool, which I do. Like, that's my get into the gym, train, do it for yourself. No one actually gives a shit. But that's also for life. Like no one sees the work that you put into yourself emotionally.
No.
Do it. No one gives a
No.
fuck. They care. Yeah, like people care about you. No one gives a fuck. Do the work,
No.
make yourself better, show up for other people, show up for yourself. No one sees what happens behind closed doors. Go to therapy. Yeah, talk to someone. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 20 something. I don't think it works. I found it was just I was paying a stranger to sit and listen to me. But I know people that have great results from therapy. So try it if it works for you. Great. Find what works for you and put the work in. Because if you don't put work into yourself in some regard, nothing's going to change. You can be a victim. You can sit and wallow and be a victim in all this shit.
Or you'll
And you
continue
continue to
You'll be
spiral.
in and out of
And, if you have some poor me, life is hard attitude, then that's the narrative you're giving
That's
yourself.
what you get.
Yeah, if your life is hard, yes, it is. And if you just go, oh, this is shit, life sucks, blah blah blah, and that's what you're telling yourself. I'm fucking ugly. I'm worthless. You're talking to yourself like that, so you're listening to that, and that's your opinion. So if you're like, I'm worthy of more, then change. I hate my job. This is shit. Okay, fucking quit your job then. Find a new job. I hate my relationship. It's cool. Leave. Put yourself in a position that you want to be in. Otherwise, you're just going to keep doing it. Oh, it's not that easy. No, it's not easy. It sucks. Like I quit a career after 15 years. Left a marriage after 10. Like it's fucking hard, man. But it's worth it.
It is. And I think going back to that point of making that commitment to yourself, not finding excuses about, oh, this person will be hurt or that person will be hurt. Yeah, they will.
And the right people will stick around.
The right people will. The right people will be there for you no matter what.
Especially if you explain it. You're like, especially with one of the boys or something. You're like, hey, bro, this is what's happening right now. Sorry if I'm going to be distant. Sorry if I'm going to come off as a bit of a cut. Whatever. I'm going through some shit. I need to sort it. And if they're a good mate, yeah, man, no worries. Well, anything you need, let me know.
Yep.
Be upfront.
I'll be here.
Be an adult about it.
Yeah. And don't think that sharing to a friend is going to put them out. If they're a genuine friend, they're not going to be put 100%. Out. They're going to want to be there.
And even if you don't know what you require, still tell them. It's like, I don't know what I need right now, but this is what I'm going through. And they'll just go, hey, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And you're like, yeah, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, it's fine. Just talk to them about it. Don't need a solution. Just sometimes you just need to be heard.
Yeah. And just, heard or seen or whatever works for people.
Yeah.
Whichever terminology works. And I think that is going back to that, having real mates, real friends. That's part of the journey. It's like you'll have them through happenings, through things that, uncomfortable times, uncomfortable conversations, whatever it may be. These are people that are going to stick around. Then they're the real ones.
And also being open to things. Like something that comes back to me isolating myself is that I'll get invited somewhere and then I'll decline it. Like, hey, we're all going out for dinner. Like, nah, sorry, I'm busy. I'm not busy. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just afraid of going out. So now I say yes. If I can't whinge about being isolating myself and being isolated, and then someone offers something. If I say no, well then I'm doing that to myself. So if one of the boys goes, hey, I'm going to jiu-jitsu tonight, do you want to come? Yeah. Hey, we're going out. A couple of us are going to grab some lunch. Do you want to come? Yeah. unless I'm legitimately busy, I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Thank you for
Yeah,
thinking of me. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I'm coming, because it
yeah.
takes effort.
And that's part of it. Yeah, maintaining
It
friendships, it
does.
does take effort. It's that. Okay, yeah. Even though you're about to, I don't know, do the lawn or whatever it might be. Sure. All right, man. What time?
Yeah,
Where
and
do we meet?
especially in our age group, because now people are married, they've got kids, um, careers, so their life is going to revolve around wife, child, job, plus walking the dog, plus maintaining the house, plus maybe going to the gym themselves. Like everyone's. So if you see one of your mates that's doing something that you do, like isolating themselves, or you haven't heard from them, reach out to them. So don't be the victim of just like, oh, no one reaches out to me, this is my, this is me talking to me, instead of sitting back and going, oh, no one messages me, no one invites me anywhere. Well, who the fuck did you message? Who did you invite out?
Yep.
Like if
I'm
if
guilty.
you start messaging people and you're getting no response, or every single time they brush you or ghost you or something, that's a bit different. But if you're not putting the effort in, you can't blame other people for not putting the effort in. And it is hard at our
No,
age
you've
group,
definitely.
because we're not out all the time seeing each other every week. That was the default, man. You'd go out, I was seeing my mates on the weekend, because you go out every weekend.
And it was so much easier, wasn't it? Like I remember being in my early 20s or whatever, and it was just like you having a drinks or you're on something, and then everything's more open and chilled and relaxed. You're not really thinking about um, commitments or the future or whatever. You're just like, hey, man, and then you have that bond. Where now it's like you've kind of got this section of your brain for, all right, this is the house needs doing, the business needs this and that, and then it's like, all right, I've got this health issue. I've got to figure out how to deal with XYZ, and then you have this capacity which sort of narrows down to that, and then it's like you're not drinking or you're not on drugs, and you're more straight, so you're a bit more reserved
But
or
also those
refined.
connections that you have now, I feel, are more genuine. Like, you've got so many people when you're out and drinking and partying and out in your 20s, like they're real shallow connections. How many of them are
Yeah,
actual
I
friends? Like,
yeah, this is something that came up in men's business quite a bit, where we were going over, you go to the pub or whatever it may be with mates, and you talk about the fucking football or some political bullshit or whatever. And it's very rarely that you get into the deep conversations, the real things like, this person's going through that or whatever it is, just getting a deep conversation with someone is not
yeah.
as
But
common.
also,
Not
like,
not the
if you're
way
going to
that
move
women.
house, who are you calling? If you and the missus had a fight and you need somewhere to stay for the night, who are you calling? Which one of those mates is going to be like, bro, yeah, you just come stay on my couch? Or like, yeah, like I've got Saturday free. I'm going to help you move anything you need. Like, as opposed to 20 years ago, you're like, yeah, I kind of know all these people, but not on a level where I could ask them for something big. So they're
No.
the people that I surround myself with now. People that, and the ones that, like, if they called me, hey, I need somewhere to sleep tonight, like, oh, hey, I need help moving, or you know, anything. It's like they're the people that, like, yeah, 100%, you can, I'm here for you. So
Yeah.
you have to be what you want.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely give and take.
and I think that's just the biggest
It's
thing with
funny.
with maintaining these friendships and community that we as men we need as in our age group is that effort you
Yeah.
need to put into it.
And what I said is not wrong. It's as wrong. Sorry, it's not give and take. It is just being a friend. Like you don't do something for a true friend and
So it's
expect
just
something
give
in
it, give
return. You just do it.
from both sides. Yeah, don't, it's
It's
not a
yeah,
transaction.
yeah, and it's just two mates that give to each other. There's no need for a transaction. It's not
Yeah,
a transaction. It's just yeah, man. What do you need?
if it's
Tell me.
genuine, then you're not caring about, like, I'm always doing something for this guy. It's like, well, maybe he always needs something. Maybe he's in a shit space, and if you can help him, and
Yeah,
it's not having a detrimental effect on your mental health, if you can
yeah,
help him, fucking help him, man.
yeah. And yeah, going back to what you said just after that, where the community, it's obviously cities full of people, yet are such isolating places. Like we've moved now to a more rural area, and you see the communities really band together. Like it's like a big
Yeah.
village almost, where people help each other. I'm swapping vegetables and stuff with my neighbors and giving, I was lifting a fridge a while ago up the stairs. The neighbor saw us, ran over, gave us a hand to lift it up. And that's how it is in the city.
But
That
even
shit
now,
doesn't
like I
happen.
moved, out of the city out to where I am now, and it's, hey, we're going away for a couple of days. Can you, talk to your neighbor? Can you bring our bins in?
Yep.
Can you keep an eye on the place? Like, it's just
Yep.
this. It is a community feel out in the suburbs as opposed to living in an apartment. You don't even know your neighbors.
No, people
Yeah,
barely
out here,
acknowledge each other.
like people talk, they say hi. You can, you'll see over the back fence and your neighbors in the backyard, and you have a yarn for a bit. It's like, that's great.
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, I was going to say, I'm not going to say. I am saying, what is the unseen cost of becoming the man you are today, and what were the lessons that came with it?
Kind
We've
of
kind
covered.
of
You,
covered
you
most of
you
that.
do lose friends along the way. I think that was the biggest thing that friends, acquaintances, you you do lose people that are not along for the ride, which is hard, you know. But it's part of it. I mean, it's part of the journey. You'll lose relationships, you'll lose friendships, you'll lose jobs, or move on from different jobs to, you progress. I'm not saying any of it's right or wrong. It's just the facts of it. Shit will come and go.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I sort of think back to, I don't know what time frame I'm thinking of, but there would have always been unexpected things when we were hunter gatherers, or maybe even 150 years ago, where things were so different. We didn't have excessive amounts of food, readily available
People
food,
die.
and
Yeah, you're
everything was so
traveling
hot.
somewhere. People, oh, okay, yeah, John died. Yeah, all right. Well, we keep going.
He got bit by a snake and he's dead now, so we had to bury him on the road. That's
Yeah.
Things are just so different, and I don't personally believe that our physicality has caught up with that. I don't believe that in our bodies, we're still hunter gatherers. Basically, we have a nervous system. We need to run every day. We need to kind of hunt for food to expend
We're
that
not made to
energy.
sit at a desk for fucking 12 hours a day.
No, not to sit at a desk or even stand at a doorway or whatever the fuck it is.
This is what
Um,
baffles me, even with like, so we're made to move. That's why everyone goes to the gym. Not everyone, but like a lot of people go to the gym or they go for a walk because your body is like, hey, I need to move. But people pay like a gym. You go do a group fitness class because, like, I need the motivation of other people and a PT to tell me to move. Just move,
yeah,
man. Go for a walk.
yeah. I think what I've started doing now is listen to Gary Bracker a lot as well. What he was saying is, the first thing in the morning, get up and at least half an hour of
Mm.
movement. So I'm learning Tai Chi and Qigong apart from training weights and there's an MMA gym where I am now. There's no Krav, which I would have preferred, but
But
anyway.
anything's better than, yeah, like if
Uh,
you got something.
yeah, like, I love striking, kicking, all that sort of stuff. So and also we
The
get
bear. Yeah,
that's bad.
yeah.
um, and I think that is important as well as we age, to keep your motor function, your motor skills going, because we shouldn't be just sitting around. We shouldn't be consuming excessive amounts of kilojoules or calories or whatever it is, and sugar and all that sort of stuff. And I think for mental health particularly, I try my best to not
Yep.
have sugar, avoid alcohol. Or there's this Polish potato vodka, which I just love. Just a shot every now and then. And I think it's important to have that routine of movement, because we are essentially a physical body, hunter-gatherers, or, whatever you want to label it. We need to move. We need to maybe fast every now and then, not eat consistently.
And make moving a priority. Like not as a, if I have time, it's like, no, I'll make a time. And look, if you do 20 minutes, that's great. 20 minutes is better than 20 minutes sitting on the couch. Half an hour,
Yep. Or
yes,
scrolling.
doom scrolling. And, if you can do an hour and a half gym session because your day allows it, then yeah, great. But, not everyone can do that. So do 100 push-ups. Go for a half an hour walk around the block. Like there's things that everyone can do if you make it a priority. And if you don't make it a priority, fine, but don't whinge about it.
And that's it. And I think that is a big part of today. Like, looking at I'm not going to go into labeling generations and all that shit, because I don't really give a shit about it. But particularly something that I was doing work for a client in Rose Bay before we left Sydney. And he was saying in his company, since COVID, where people got used to working at home, they don't want to work anymore. So maybe that is like a shift in the younger generations where they are quite happy to be sitting around, not doing much.
I don't know that they're happy. I think they're comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. Wrong
I think
choice
they're comfortable
of word there.
doing it. But I think it's a very short term. I think people end up very isolated and alone because of it. They're losing social skills. They're losing immune system function. You're not constantly around people. Getting sunlight, getting exposed to different germs and bacteria. So your immune system is like, hey, we're nice and strong. You're in your house. You get sick easier. You're not getting sunlight. You're not getting that vitamin D. I think it's a very short-term thing. I think there'll be a lot of long-term effects from the whole working from home business.
Yeah, unless
you make positive changes yourself. Unless you put that effort in. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. What advice would you offer a man listening to this who feels like he's on the edge right now, but not sure what to do next?
Reach out. I mean, don't sit and wait for people to reach out to you. Reach out to a friend. And like I said before, that could just be as simple as just want to grab a coffee. Like you don't need the pressure to talk about all the shit that's happening, because that could be hard. That could be daunting. Like I said, you can feel like it's a burden, but just the positive interaction of just hanging out with someone, just reach out and realize that it's not going to last. Like don't make it. Don't make a rash decision on it. Just realize that whatever it is, it's not going to last. Push through. If you don't have, I mean, not everyone has people. Not everyone actually has someone that they can reach out to or that they feel comfortable reaching out to. Go for a walk. Bless you. Do something that might change your state. Don't just wallow in it for too long. There's no answer, man. Like there's no. I'd be the richest person in the world if I could cure male depression. I'm like, here's all the answers, but just realizing that there are options for everyone, and whether that's call Lifeline. I've done it. Call Lifeline, or Beyond Blue, or any of those phone numbers, and just chat and just go, hey, I'm not all right, and they'll just talk. I've done it twice, and both were great. Like they just sit and listen to you talk.
I think that definitely helps. Like you just that step out of the isolation and the darkness to be able to confide in another human, have another
because it's not going
human's
to staying in
presence
that
there for.
darkness and staying in that isolation. It's not going to get better. And this is my thing. Like, because I'll isolate. I'll go, oh, having a dark day. I'm just going to sit and wallow in it, and it doesn't help. Like, I know logically it doesn't help. My wife could see it a fucking mile away. She'll drag me out of it, and then the next thing you know, like, it's worse, and then it's worse, and then you're fucking watching TV for 8 hours or just doom scrolling and sitting under a blanket, and you're like, oh, I'll be fine tomorrow. And you might be, but just, if you can change your state, just go for a walk, grab a coffee, like, call a mate, message someone, you know. And if you have a mate and you message them and you say you're not okay, like, just straight up, and they're not there to help you, like, then reevaluate who your mates are. Like, I know with my friends, if, like, they might be busy. Like, hey, do you want to hang out? No, I'm busy. Okay, that's different. You want to grab a coffee tomorrow? No, I'm busy. Like, because the people have shit going on. If you go, I'm not all right, and I need a friend to talk to right now, like, the people that I've got close to me at the moment, even if it's a 20-minute phone call, they'll be there. And, like, I think I said this
You
stuff
just
on
gotta,
the when we did our last podcast a couple of years back. That is like, picking up the phone and making that call to a friend. That is the hardest thing,
it's
because,
hard.
yes, sitting and wallowing in it and doing nothing and being a man, all that sort of shit, that's fucking easy. But the hard bit is, reaching out. And once you do it once, man, it gets easier. You make that phone call to a friend and just go, hey, I'm not all right, I need to talk. Once you've done that once, you can go, I'm not all right again, or you call someone else, or you, like, whatever. Like, once you get the courage and the strength to realize you can do that, it does get easier.
Yeah. And I think that making that effort, reaching out, even during that time, getting your body moving, because that is often, in my personal experience, something that changes the chemical balance in my brain and body, etc. Where if I do start to just, even if I do 20 push-ups and then walk around the block or something, just something small to really change your state, and that's what you need to do.
100%. Yeah, and it's like, that's okay. It is a short-term thing, because you get a rush of endorphins. It doesn't fix whatever the problem is, but it puts you in a better state where you can then make choices to try to fix whatever the problem is. It's all little stepping stones. It's not the solution. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm going to go
it's
for a
better
run
just,
and I'm no longer depressed. No, you're going to go for a run and you're going to feel better, and then you're going to go eat something better, and then you're going to go drink some water, and then maybe you'll have the clear head to go, oh, actually, man, it was just the people that I was around today that made me feel like shit about myself. You have a clearer
yeah,
head to
or something someone said, it was
yeah, I slept bad.
this person said
Yeah. Oh,
something.
that's right. I ate junk food yesterday, and that's why I feel shit today. Like, what have you been doing in your life that led you to that point?
Yeah, it is very easy to get caught up
Yeah,
in the shit.
100%.
Yes. All right. I
What is
feel
it?
like
We're almost
this
on about 2 hours, I think. Yeah.
is it. Where are we? Nah,
Hey,
80
not bad.
minutes. Yeah, getting there. Well, how much longer do you
Man,
want to go?
I'm good. I can keep going.
All right. I'll pick some other questions then. Uh, all right. There's two questions here that I feel like can open a tin of worms. Was there a single moment that cracked your identity, or was it gradual? And what finally made you admit something wasn't working?
Um,
No, I think going reverse on the identity thing is, so think about who I was when you met me. The head instructor of that gym, that was my personality. I made myself that guy for so many years. So when I left the gym, that identity I had to kill off, I guess. So who I thought I was and who I was to everyone, this fucking Jarrod Krafzcyk guy for so long, that's not me anymore. So everything associated with that, it's like, who am I? I'm now just like, I've lost this big part of me. How do I see myself? How do other people see me? Because I don't teach at all anymore. I had to cut it off. I started gradually. I'm like, oh, just a little bit, and I'll still train, and I'll still like grasp onto that. But that guy is dead. So I had to completely reinvent who I was, just to me, to no one else. No one else gives a, again, no one actually gives a fuck. It's how I viewed myself and realized that I am more than that personality. I am more than that figure, that I am worthy of attention and respect aside of that position. So that was a journey for the first year and a half. That took a while. And then I'm just me. Like I have more of myself than I think more respect for myself than I ever have, based on just me.
Yeah.
Just what I've.
Being there
Sorry,
for
was that?
yourself. Is it being there for yourself?
Yeah, being there for myself, realizing I don't have to put on, like, so when you're teaching a class or like self-defense, or like I'm a quiet person. I'm quite introverted. I'm not going to be the center of attention. But when you're teaching in a gym, you have to command like 30, 40 people in a room and get them all to do something and be charismatic and keep the energy up. You're teaching for 3 hours straight, so you're on this like bang, 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 go, go, go sort of thing. And so you put on this act and this persona for so long, and then now I don't have to. I'm like, but what do I do? Who am I? Just this guy now that goes to work and does his thing and comes home, and I just exist. So it's becoming comfortable with that and realizing that that's okay. I was teaching at the gym straight on the back of being a singer in bands for my whole life. And again, there's the same thing. So I had that same persona since I was 14 of being on stage. Off stage, I'm, quiet and reserved, and get on stage and you put on this big show and you're running around yelling, singing, screaming, touring, doing all that stuff. So there's my whole life of having this stage persona in one form or another. And now I don't. So that's weird. That's been a very strange adjustment. You're also not a public figure, but people know who you are without you knowing who they are. People know things about you. And so now I get to be more private. I get to be more reserved,
Especially for an
especially for an
introvert. It's
introvert. Yeah.
quite
But yeah, I mean, the
uncomfortable.
good thing with social media is you can drip, you can, I'm only going to sell you, what I think you should know, like here's all the highlights, here's the good shit. But now I can be completely private. Like having a talk like this with you for a couple of hours is the most open thing I've done in a long time.
Yeah, I was curious whether you'd accept it as
Well,
well.
and this comes down to like I said, like if I isolate myself and don't take the opportunities, then I'm just going to stay isolated. But I hadn't heard from you in so long and I get a random message going, I'm doing a podcast, real easy for me to go, nah, man, all good. But it's like, well, here's an opportunity. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, let's talk. You like, Daryl wants to talk to me. You have an interest and you want me on your podcast? Yeah, okay, cool. Like, I don't personally, I'm like, oh, I don't know why. Yeah, but you've got a reason. You reached out and you want to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've spoken about it before. I know how you feel about
Yeah.
helping men, and
And then I can't talk about
that's
doing
part
it
of
and believe in doing it and then not take the opportunities when I'm given to do it. Because I don't do it anymore. Like I just, again, I just live my life. I'm not this persona. I'm not out there. I had a position where I could be vocal in it previously. I had followers. I had,
you had a decent
yeah, I had
Instagram
that. I had all
following.
the people in the gym, like in person. Um, and now I don't, like, which is amazing. Like everything's just a lot more private and a lot more quiet, which I really prefer. But you had an interest in talking to me and getting my perspective on things, and we've known each other a long time, and like, yes, you asked, yeah, I'll just say yes. And what you do with this episode, and this is your podcast, this is your business, so I'm just happy to be asked for it.
Yeah, and I appreciate your time and your energy, and especially on your day off, you can
I'm
be.
sitting outside. It's a nice day. Dog is asleep in the sun.
Yeah, and just thinking to that as well, what you were saying about the social media thing, how you drip feed, which is something I do as well. I've really had to get comfortable with having more of my private life online simply because of this mission that I've chosen to do, which is help men, help other people as well. I think women as well by default, by helping men. And yeah, it's not comfortable. It's not
Yeah,
me. Yet I know. Okay, I have to deal with the discomfort and show certain things of my life, which again is drip fed. Still, I'm not going to show the deep workings of my relationships and life, etc. And it's something you have to do.
yeah. It's the way of the world with the way business is now. You want to be able to promote something, you need to let people in, and you know Instagram
Yeah,
and
so people
online,
can.
stuff that's how you promote shit. That's what it is these days.
Yeah, and it is what it is. All right, let's pick another couple of questions. I feel like, or when did you stop being afraid of your own power, and what did you do? What did you have to face in order to claim it?
Um, I think that's just an ongoing thing. Realizing you've got the power to cut people off, to set boundaries. You do have the power to set boundaries. Um, that's one of the harder things to do. So you might know, I need to put these boundaries in place. It's best for me. But the ramifications of that, or the consequences of those boundaries, you have to also be okay with. So I want to put boundaries in place with these people because I feel taken advantage of or disrespected, or my my partner is disrespected, or I don't feel right about it. Um, and then the consequence of that, you might lose that person as a friend. You might isolate yourself because of that. So what means more to you? Putting boundaries in place, or keeping that person that is crossing those boundaries. That's hard,
Yep,
man. And
self-respect.
I've realized recently, in the last couple of years, having the power to do that. But you'll never be fully comfortable It's not easy to lose someone. You lose a friend, you lose a friend. Like that's fucking
It
sucks.
sucks, yeah.
But then the long-term gain of that is like, I've put these boundaries in place and I'm better off for it. And if that person was truly a friend, would they have left, or would they have respected the boundaries, or would they have gone, and we all know the answer. It's like, oh, you're not there for the long run. But even losing a short-term friend is hard. Be friends with someone for 6 months or 3 months, and you're still figuring things out, and you're like, hey, these are my boundaries, not in those words, but whatever your way of saying things. And you're like, oh man, I thought he was a mate. Oh well.
Yeah, it
Sucks.
does suck.
But that's life. Shit happens. Keep moving. And then you'll go, oh, this person respects my boundaries, and I don't even have next you meet someone new, like a new friend, and you're like, oh, we really get each other, and I don't even need to put boundaries in place because we're on the same wavelength, or that we think the same, we've got the same moral compass, or whatever it is. There's it leads you in different directions. I've made a couple of good friends through other friends. You're like, oh, hey, this is my mate, such and such. I'm like, okay, well, you'll vouch for them. I respect you. They're going to be a good person. Then you start hanging out.
It's often, like common interests can, in my experience, be a factor towards understanding someone's values and
Yeah,
moral
and
compass.
it's finding places to meet people that you're going to have common interests with, whether that's at the gym. That's a good place, even though like I think group fitness classes are silly. It's good for community. You go and you meet people with, okay, fitness is your common interest, okay, and then you can talk, and then you can, I've got same political views or the same moral views, or I feel political views are a big, especially recently, the last couple of years, a big factor of whether you're going to be friends with someone or not, which is weird. Like US
Yeah.
politics have such a determining factor for friendships around the entire world, and we don't even vote in it. But it just tells you like what you believe in, and with your left or right, whether you're hardcore left or hardcore right, or you're somewhere in the middle, or
Well, even the whole COVID thing really sort of, I guess, was that initial point of the wedge where it just started to, drive
how
down and divide.
pro-vax and anti-vax, and then how many people you're like, oh, I got vaccinated because I had to for work. I mean,
Had to.
I running a gym, I didn't have a choice. I had pressure at home
Yeah.
to do it and pressure from work to do it. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta. And then in
Yeah.
hindsight, you're like, well, no, you fucking didn't. But in
Yeah.
hindsight, like how many people were
Yeah.
pressured to made to do it, like against their will.
Well, that was, I think, part of the. We could open a can of worms here. Which word
Go
am I going
for
to
it. I don't
choose for
care.
this?
This is your podcast, man. I'm not getting cancelled.
I'm just starting, so either I'll get Anyway, I don't know, agenda, if you will, whether people believe there is an agenda, whether they don't, fine. But to me, that was a little bit manipulative
100%.
and coercive.
And it just shows like the gang mentality of like everyone that was like, you have to get vaccinated, you have to do this. And then you've got millions of people saying you have to do it, and you can't work if you don't. Like, you're stopping me from earning a living.
And people had mortgages and children and bills
Part
and
of my job was traveling.
all
It's
of
like, okay, well, I want to be able to go to, at the time, I want to go to Israel because I go there and I teach, and I'm like, well, I need to be vaccinated to do that. I need to be vaccinated to run my classes, to work, get the option of like getting workers comp because I was made, like, because I didn't want to get vaccinated. I wasn't aware of. Apparently it was a thing. Yeah. But at the time, it's like, well, I need to do this to work. And you have your second jab. Okay, well, you can't work until you've had your second. Like, for fuck's sake. Like,
yeah. That was, I don't think it was fair. I was outside of that, thankfully. I didn't have to be jabbed.
Yeah.
And
I wish I, had the
fucking
foresight, I think, to just go, look, no, you can pay me to stay at home.
Yeah. I mean, that was an option. I think some people did choose it. I know there was a guy that was involved with men's business. He literally lost his career that he had just finished studying for. He was like, not getting it, walked away, and now, there's all these class actions going through and compensated, which goes to show how fucked up it was.
I had job, I had mortgage, I had pressure from my wife at the time. When are you getting your vaccine? Very pro. I'm like, well, I guess I've got to do what I've got to do. And then in hindsight, you're like, fuck, what have I done? I'm lucky. Like, I don't think I have had any adverse effects from it. Like, but I know people that have.
Yeah, and there's all this, the cancer, turbo cancers and all this sort of shit happening, and sports people dropping dead on the fields. It's like, well, that is not normal. How is this in any way normal?
Yeah, so it's a whole wormhole to go down, but but again, if you find you open that up a little bit and you start talking to someone and then you see they're like, oh, you agree with me on this? Okay, let's keep chatting. How do you feel about this subject? How do you? I'm not going to open up too much, but how do you feel about the state of Europe at the moment? Just fishing for go Poland. Fucking hell. Fishing for a bit of info. And that's how I've made a couple of mates at work. It's like they'll say something, they know I'm Polish, and they'll say something, they're like, oh, I fucking love what Poland's doing at the moment with the borders. I'm like, we're about to become good friends, sir. Let's have a chat.
Yep. Would you like to come over for some pierogi?
Yeah. But that can be hard to, if you want to meet someone new and make a new friend, and then, how do you find someone that, if you're right leaning, how do you find someone that's also right leaning, and vice versa? Like, if you're very liberal and conservative, I mean, I guess you can fucking hang out in Newtown and find people easier to find liberal people, I think, than right wing people.
Oh, especially
or in general in Sydney, like in finding people to maybe down in the Shire is a little bit different, but just finding people to share your general beliefs enough that you can hang out and not offend each other, and there's a common bond, and then you can build a friendship.
Yeah, and I think that's also something that I have really come to respect people's views. I do my best to not judge them for it, and I'm like, everyone's entitled to their view. Just don't fucking try and force it on me.
And vice versa. I'm not going to try to enforce anything for mine on anyone. But if I make a joke that's, well, I find it's funny, and you get offended by it, that's, sorry, we're not going to be friends, because I'm not going to censor myself too much.
And you can't, like, what? That's not genuine.
And then it's not genuine, 100%. And then you're not being yourself. And then you're not in a comfortable friendship. And then you're not going to be the mate that you can.
Then it becomes transaction.
And then it becomes a transaction. And then they're not going to be that mate that you can call when you need help. And this brings us back to the people that you want to have hanging around you.
Yeah.
And it's a journey. Like people are gonna come and go, and it's part of it. It's gonna constantly be part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like I've chatted with people who are either conservative or slightly left. I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's cool, and I get that vibe, and I'm like, all right, I'm not
I'm gonna try and convince you otherwise.
No, you're entitled to believe
Yeah.
what you want. I won't use pronouns or whatever. That's just because I don't think it's grammatically
It's
correct,
fucking ridiculous.
and that's as simple as it gets.
It's you're welcome to do it. Just I'm not. I don't have to abide by it. Yeah.
I don't have to. That is not. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I respect your beliefs. I respect your wishes. But this is me. These are my boundaries.
Yeah. Good on you. We're not going to be friends because I can't pretend. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to be like, hey, this is my friend. He identifies as a fucking they, whatever. No. You'll find friends, and you'll find friends that respect you, and you'll find friends that love you, and you'll find friends with common interests and their own fucking Newtown pronouns. I have no interest in it. And I think now I'm in a position in where I live, and the friends that I have and the relationship that I'm in is that I can be quite blunt with that and comfortable and speak. I'm not oh, can I say this? I don't want to upset my partner. I'm just like, I know my wife and I are really on the same page with all of this. My close friends, I can make these jokes about everything and be comfortable and be myself.
Yeah. And that is it. It's that genuineness, that real. I can't. I think I was always, even as a younger boy, man, adolescent, I was always blunt. I'd always say what I thought. I didn't filter things, and that didn't sit well with some people. And then I found that the right people would just naturally gravitate, because you'd say something, certain people would get offended. Like one of my closest mates now, he's in Scotland somewhere, I think, with his wife or fiance. And we sort of met over something that I just sort of blurted out at a dinner. It was like a Friday night dinner. It was a big group of people, and I said something that was probably quite controversial, or would have been at the time. And he just sort of looked at me, laughed, and then and then we started talking and stuff.
So I reckon just being yourself, the right people will gravitate towards you. The people you don't want will take themselves out.
Yeah. And I think that is it as well. This is all to do with your mental health, because if you're
suppressing, who you are, that's you're pretending to be someone else for the sake of keeping a friend. It's taxing, man. Yeah.
Like I've only had to do that in work situations where I had to be really
I had to be professional. Like I had the same thing with the gym. I was very neutral. Even running a Israeli run gym, like Israeli politically, I'm like, I don't have an opinion. Whether I have an opinion on it or not is irrelevant. I am teaching a class. Yes, it is an Israeli company. This is all pre-October 7 stuff, obviously, but not pre the last 70 years. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm teaching. You're here for a service. I don't care about your political opinion. You don't care about mine. It's irrelevant.
There's no need for it.
Yeah. So
it's like, okay, is there a messy situation over there? Yes, but are you directly involved? No. So what are you fucking talking about?
We don't need to talk about that.
Do you know the history? Do you know the
But even where you're being professional, it's like, hey, I'm running a business that I can't give my actual opinion. I understand I need to be professional and I shouldn't. So I'm like, but everything that's happened over the last few years, I'm glad I'm just away from it all, because it's gotten how much more messier it's gotten. Yeah, really from both sides, and I'm like, I've got my Jewish heritage, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yep, and there's extremists on both sides.
Exactly.
It's And I don't see it playing out too well if it continues that way. There has to be that, okay, you have your view, I have my view, but we don't need to argue. We don't need to throw things at each other. We don't need to get into a violent situation.
Well,
We can literally
especially
just talk.
here, like in the city, in Sydney, like we're not directly involved. As in, so everything that's happening over there, you've got riots all over the world, pro-Palestine uh, activists targeting Jewish people in fucking Bellevue Hill.
How does that work?
How does that help? How does that help your cause?
Doesn't.
It baffles
Oh yeah.
me that, you know, like people are afraid to, in Sydney, are afraid to, Jewish people are afraid to walk around just being themselves in their own suburbs. Like the whole fucking rabbit hole we won't go down, but it's just the world's getting a bit fucking crazy.
It really is. It really is. And you're seeing even the climate activists and things like that sitting and blocking traffic. Like, I try not to spend too much time on social media, but I do check for notifications. And when I make posts, if there's any interaction, I would like to like posts and re-comment and sort of things like that. But just looking at one of these clips was a man who was on his way to his pregnant wife, and there's these climate people sitting there.
Oh, I saw this the other day.
He jumped out and I fucking grabbed him by the scruff of the neck. Like I would do what I had to do to move them, because if your wife's pregnant, she's about to give birth, nothing's stopping me from getting to her. I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, and they're disrupting regular people for what? You know, they're not helping themselves.
No, there's a way to do things, and that's, in my view, it's not the way to do it.
And that's the thing. You kind of need these conversations, and then you realize you need these conversations with new people that you meet, because you realize who's for you and who's not. This all just circles back to, you know, what I'm starting with finding the right people to be around.
And how that impacts on your mental health.
100%. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, that is. And that I was just about to say that sort of just went full circle, because going back to that, you become like the 5 most people you hang around. And if you're hanging around with someone who has completely different views and tries to press on you what their view is,
you'll be living a lie, and then your mental health will suffer from it. If you're hanging around 5 people think like you, have the same moral compass, like not 5 people that are exactly the same as you, but the same moral compass as you, and you can feel comfortable in talking about your beliefs, no matter how strong they are, then you're going to be more comfortable with yourself. If you're comfortable with yourself, you're going to respect yourself, and you're going to be happier.
Yep. And society in whole. Yes. All right.
All right. Well, that's a couple of hours well spent, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a couple of hours. Yeah. Man, it's been good to catch up.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you reaching out. It's good to have a chat again. Like this sort of chat's great for my mental health. You know, like good. I get to talk about all this stuff and get things off my chest a little bit, and reconnect with an old friend.
Yep. And I remember saying to you once before, if you ever do need someone to call.
Yeah, vice versa. We've got each other's numbers. Let's not be strangers.
Yeah. No, I think, if you're up around this part of the world.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Man, grab lunch or whatever, and
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, our wives can talk.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Good Slavic women. cool.
Alrighty, bro.
All right, Jarrod. Thank you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing personal details, and hopefully whoever's been listening to this will get something out of it, and I'm sure they will. And
Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks,
well,
Daz.
this has been thanks, Jarrod. This has been Dragonfire, Men's Alchemical Path, and thank you.